Hey, this is Gary with Black Diamond Games. I was asked to talk about monetizing game space. So, when you think about a game store, what is it we really offer? We sell games, right? And we have event space, and there are snacks. And some people will tell you game stores make money on snacks. We sell a ton of snacks, probably 2% of our income, not a big thing. So, 47% of households in the US have Amazon Prime accounts. They don't just shop on Amazon, they have Prime accounts. Their people are shopping online. If you don't if you don't have a method for getting people to use your store appropriately, meaning they use their space as customers, then people will take advantage of you. Probably about 47% of them, because they need that social interaction. They can't buy it on Amazon, so they will take it from you if you let them. And this, it's not confrontational. Well, let me repeat. Let me fix that. It is confrontational, right? You get into this situation where people will buy their games online and they will play in your store. And there are some game store owners that are fine with that. They think warm bodies add to the experience. Any warm body, it's like Joe. He buys all the stuff online. He buys his models there, but he plays in my store, and like people like Joe, so Joe adds value to my store. It's like, no, Joe doesn't add value to your store. It doesn't mean it has to be an entirely transactional approach, right? So our monetization is pretty simple. If it's not a card buy-in like booster packs or whatever, it's you pay $5, you get $5 for store credit of store credit. So it just guarantees that if you use the space, even if you are buying the vast majority of your games online, if you use our space, you get store credit. You're paying for store credit, and you will now become a customer of some sort. And it works pretty well. It discourages the complete freeloaders. It means I don't care anymore about this issue because the economics of the situation takes care of itself. Another thing we do is you have to play. We have events scheduled every night, every day, and those are the games that are played. And those games are the ones we sell in the store. So if we don't sell a product in the store, we don't have an event for it. It's not as restrictive as it sounds. Some people were like, well, what if I buy Settlers of Catan from you and then you no longer sell Settlers of Catan? It's like it's broad based. So board game night means you play a board game. I really don't care what board game you play. You pay your $5, you get $5 of store credit, you play board games with people, you go home at the end of the night, everybody's happy. Not a big deal. On the other hand, when we found out that the vast majority of our customers are playing War Machine, and we dropped War Machine because it was getting like one turn a year, we ended up dropping War Machine events. We had a catch-all event like we do now still on Sundays where it's like a miniature mayhem thing, come play miniatures. But War Machine will never be on the schedule again, ever. That's the deal. As a concession, because we were such a big War Machine store, we still have monthly tournaments for some reason. But in general, we don't have that on the calendar. We won't. We just won't. And they made the choice. They chose to buy it elsewhere and play here, and then we just said no more. So here's the elephant in the room, right? If you're really against the idea of monetization of game space, let me tell you a truth that's just now starting to dawn on the game trade, retailers. Game stores use their game space to supercharge their sales, and they do this with volunteer labor for the most part. Magic judges generally get paid something, either cash or product or something, however shady that is. But the rest of games, role-playing games, miniature games, board games, all these games rely on volunteer coordinators to run these events. And guess what? That's not legal. The courts have decided there's no such thing as a volunteer in a for-profit business. So there's going to be a choice here, right? All these games are either not going to happen anymore in game stores, or there's going to be a move to monetize it. And to monetize it is going to be a lot more than $5 for $5 of store credit, right? So if I'm paying someone $10, $12, $15 an hour to run a D&D game, and there's 5 players in that game, do the math. That's like $10 cash per night, maybe $15 cash per night. It's not cheap. And here's the thing. They won't pay it because they don't value it, right? People will pay crazy amounts to go to the movies. How much will they pay to play Dungeons and Dragons from a paid employee who's running a campaign? Not $10 a night, not once a week. Ain't gonna happen. So That's going to be a big change in the game trade. Probably. I mean, the legal advice I've got is, well, it's really not a problem until somebody gets sued. Okay? So who's going to go first? Who's going to get sued first? Hopefully not me, because I'm still doing this like everybody else. But that's the elephant in the room. And by the way, I just spent $133,000 building a second floor for more game space. So I believe in the concept. I don't know legally how it's going to work in the future. So, yeah, good luck with that.